Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a brand new series called Dougie's Political Talk. And before we get into today's episode, I'm going to discuss what this series is all about. And it's basically talking about having conversation about the issues going on in the world. I'm going to have a few guests on in the near future. And if you recall, following my prior podcast within the Doug Saravo Show, where we discussed the coronavirus and then we got into a little bit of sports, this series is just going to be strictly politics. Whether it's from Washington, D.C., career politicians, whether it's from, state and local politics. So this is going to be our brand new series called Dougie's Political Talk. I'm not sure if it's going to be like on a consistent schedule or, however it's going to work. I'm going to have conversations with my producers, my fellow co-hosts on what they want to do. But this is what we are doing right now for Dougie's Political Talk. And I just want to give my thoughts on what I believe is ruining this country. And for me, it's honestly this two-party system that we have going on here. That is what's destroying this country, in my opinion. Because if we saw what's been going on throughout this pandemic, how these career politicians are trying to take control of our lives, we're seeing what's going on right now. A lot of us are seeing that. We're all seeing the big picture, their big plan to get big pharma rich. That's what they want to do. Because when you have, like President Trump talk about hydroxychloroquine, you get censored for that. You have Joe Rogan recovering from corona, and all of a sudden, they don't talk about that. They don't. There's like a 99.9 survival rate. And it's all about take the vaccine or you don't go anywhere. For me, I'm going to get sick one day. I'm going to die one day. That's life. And these politicians are trying to dictate our lives, our livelihood, our finances. So for me, the more I get into politics, the more I see what's going on. The two-party system is what's wrong with this country right now. And we look at both sides, Democrats or Republicans. Career politicians, they're all the same. They go into politics, they become millionaires. They're making money off of us. And for me, it's no longer about Democrat versus Republican. It's the elites versus the civilians. The people are making money off of us, our tax money. And you got those snowflakes, those people that have no problem with that. Why is my tax money going to foreign countries? And this could be a whole different conversation for a whole different day, but for me, it's the two-party system that I think needs to change. And I've voted Republican for many years. I voted for Mitt Romney, voted for Donald Trump twice. And the more I see it, the more career politicians are the same regardless who they are. It doesn't matter if they are Republican. It doesn't matter if they are Democrat because they are the same. And the other day I had CBS on and crazy Bernie Sanders came on the television with his hair. He was saying, the Republicans, they aren't doing what we want them to do. They're disagreeing with us. Oh my God. But isn't that what the Democrats did the last 4 years against President Trump? No matter what he wanted to do for this country, they went against him. So what does that say right there? It doesn't matter who is in office, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. The Republicans are going to go against the Democrats. The Democrats are going to go against the Republicans. And that's where I'm waking up. That's where I'm realizing I'm a libertarian. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. We need a third party for this country. We need that third party to step up and tell the people. It doesn't matter if you're Republican. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat. It doesn't matter because they're all the same. And I think towards the next election, we have to start looking at the third-party candidates because that's who is probably going to be for the best interest. Why is that? Why are the big candidates always the front runners? You know, you have someone like Jo Jorgensen, and I think she got 55,000 votes last year between Trump and Biden. Biden with his 81 million, Trump with a 74 million. I think that was most for a sitting candidate. And then Jo Jorgensen with the 55,000, I believe. Let's actually pull it up because I'm not sure the exact number. But I'm going to pull up the 2020 election because I know she got a lot of votes. I know she did. I'm not sure the exact number, but she did get a lot of votes. I don't think Wikipedia is the site. Let's see. Libertarian Party. Jo Jorgensen, Spike Cohen. You know what? Actually, let's go to Siri for a moment. How many votes did Jo Jorgensen receive in the 2020 election? Ballotpedia. Let's see. All right. So Jo Jorgensen received... and this is interesting. Right here it says Jo Jorgensen presidential ballot access by state 1.1%, 2.5%. So how come the Libertarian Party doesn't really have on the ballot? She was on the ballots, but it's when you look at I think when you look at the ballot, they send you like the mail-in or I think it's like a mock ballot. It's always Republican and Democrat. I don't remember if I saw her name on the ballot. So I want to see how many votes she received. Nothing is coming up so far. All right, let's see. Jo Jorgensen. Yeah, nothing's coming up yet, but just think about this country, because realistically, it doesn't matter who's in office. It's always they're all the same. You have the Republicans, you have the Democrats, and they always go against each other. You know, it's never when they talk, they don't talk about what's doing for the people, besides President Trump, of course. It's always the Republicans or this, the Democrats or that. So for me, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the division. And I really want, if we want this country to come together, I think the Libertarian Party is the way to go. It's still, nothing comes up. Biden, Trump, the Libertarian Party selected Jo Jorgensen as its presidential nominee on May 23rd. It just shows the result. Donald Trump. All right, hold on. She received 1,864,724 votes. That says a lot. And that should be interesting for a lot of people to say, you know what? We could take the ballot. The Libertarian Party we need more people for that Libertarian Party ticket. We need more people for that. And, a lot of people come to me that they tell me, you should run. You should really run for public office. And I think to myself, in order for me to run for something, I would have to start local and run in the town I'm living in. But I have a friend who tried running for the mayor of Monroe as a Republican. And this is going way back, I think like 2012, 2014, I'm not sure. It was hard for him to win because the Democrats already had $100,000. They already had like $100,000 up against him. And that just shows the corruption in politics. So if you could have someone that's not in it for the money, you could run and you can make the change needed. That's that for me is one of the issues that is facing this country today. And I think maybe in like the 80s and the 90s we had the third party on the debate stage. I'm not sure. I don't remember his name, but I think it was with Bush, George Sr. And I'm going to pull that up quick. Bush Sr. election. Because I remember they had like the third party at the debate stage. Whoever was the libertarian. I think it was Bob Dole. Or no, that's not sure. Yeah, Bob Dole. Bush. It was the Republican. I think it was the Reform Party, but I'll get more information on that. But we need a libertarian. We need more tickets. We can't just rely on Republican. We can't just rely on Democrat. We need more choices because we're feeding our kids that you have to vote for a Democrat, you have to vote for a Republican. And I think we could get into that with the lobbyists and special interests that allows Republicans, that allows Democrats to be the main ticket, because there's just something within the system where you gotta either be like Trump and use your own money, or you're going to have to fundraise a lot. You're going to have to fundraise a lot. And that's one of the key issues that this country is facing, is we are teaching our kids that you need to be a Republican, a Democrat. We don't get taught about the libertarians. You don't see the national televised debates are presidential, Republican, and Democrat. It's not presidential for a libertarian. I would have loved to see Joe up there with Trump and Biden. To have 1 million votes, that says that a lot of people want to get away from the establishment of Democrat, Republican, or whatever it may be. You can have your social justice warriors believing into this democratic socialism. But I tell you, more and more people have to wake up. And I truly believe it is time for the third party to take control of this system, take control of the country. Because it is truly time for change. And you cannot expect this country to see this change that we truly need if it's just going to be the same bullshit year in and year out. Every 4 years, Republican or Democrat, it's always the same. You have the Republican in name only. You have the Democrats, socialists. I think we could see change in this country if we have more options. Because it's always those same. And also, this is a whole different topic. We need term limits. We need term limits. Why are you allowed to be in public office as a career? That is the issue I have with this country. You are supposed to be a public servant. You're not supposed to go into politics making a career for yourself. Why is Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and all these people in public office for 50 plus years? Give me a damn break. I am not a fan of that at all. We need term limits. You do your 4 years and you're done. You don't keep voting in. See, here's the thing. People keep complaining about all the bullshit going on in this freaking country, but they constantly vote for the same. Oh, I'm still going to vote for Pelosi because you know what? I love her personality. Give me a break. That is the issue with this country. We need term limits, and that's something that we have to fight for what we want. You want term limits? Go out and fight for it. Don't just follow up with the same bullshit because that's what you believe in, or you don't want to offend someone's feelings. That's the issue. That's my opinion. We have to change. We have to stand up for this if we believe in it. But you can't just do the same thing year in and year out. You understand that? Like, I get you want change, but by voting for the same, like, don't even get me on Mr. McConnell. Like, come on. I could get started on all these career politicians. And then you, like, to go back to Trump, that guy got more bullshit from the Democrats and the media than any other politician. Oh, the 2 scoops of ice cream. Come on. Biden gets praised for having chocolate chip mint. That's what people don't understand about. Is that politics is such a mess right now, which is why I think the establishment is the problem. And I truly believe that the 2-party system isn't going to work anymore. And I know a lot of people that that run for public office, friends of mine, acquaintances, that ran as a libertarian. And if I ever did run, I would run for a libertarian. Because if we truly want change, it's not going to start with the establishment. It's not going to start with career politicians. It's going to start with someone taking on the establishment. That's why the establishment did not like Trump. Understand that. Trump knew their game. He went against it. They didn't like it. So that's why they tried making bad story after bad story. So people, the younger generation, I mean, you have people my age too that believe, even people older believe in, oh, Trump's the bad guy. Trump's a threat to democracy. No, he wasn't a threat to democracy. What Trump was a threat to the establishment. And God forbid you try to make that change, stand up to corruption, stand up to career politicians, seek to make change. God forbid that. You can't change the world. You try to change the world, they're going to be mad at you. You notice whenever you try to do good, it looks bad in someone else's eyes. Try to call out selfishness, hate, whatever it may be, you'll look like the bad guy. Ever see that? But what can you do? We need to change. If you truly want change, stand up for what you believe in and stand up for your rights. Remember that. Again, thank you for watching the first episode of Dougie's Political Talk. This is the pilot episode. It's not always going to be a 20-minute episode. Again, if I have someone next to me and it's a conversation, we're going to go on. Who knows? Maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You never know. But it's going to be an interesting series for sure. Again, thank you for joining us. My name is Doug Saravo. I'm the host of Dougie's Political Talk. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great time. And remember, Stand up for what you believe in, even if people try to silence you, censor you, or hate on you. Those who seek to change the world will always be the ones to look bad. Remember that. All right, good night, everyone. Take care.